everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with another video comparing two palettes. My last video was a video comparing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Alyssa Edwards palette and the Riviera palette to see how similar they are. But this video, as you can see by the title, I am comparing the Morphe James Charles palette versus the new Morphe 25L palette, the Live in Colour palette. So obviously this is very colourful. So this palette is to celebrate Pride. They've also teamed up with the Trevor Project, who are like a call line and text centre who you can message, call, talk to. If you want to talk to someone, it's for LGBTQ+ people, and they are doing a lot of good work in the community and it's amazing what they do. I will link more information down below because I don't have that much time to talk about it all, but they are just amazing and I definitely suggest go checking them out and seeing if you can donate something or help out in any way, spread the message and such. So Morphe have teamed up with the Trevor Project and they have come out with this palette, and 100% of the net proceeds, so the profit that they make from this after tax, the 100% of the net proceeds is going to the Trevor Project, which will help fund teaching courses for people who will volunteer on the helplines, all different stuff like that. Again, there will be information linked below. The money is going to the Trevor Project to help fund 24/7 suicide prevention and crisis intervention services for LGBTQ+ youth. This is the box, by the way, I didn't show you it. It's a beautiful box with a Pride M, but you can also donate just separately if you don't want to have the makeup. I will leave a link where you can do that down below. Yesterday I went to an event with Morphe, that's how I have the palette and the brushes. We met with someone from the Trevor Project and they were explaining things about it and how amazing it is. They've had 24/7 calls for a while now, but they've just started getting into 24/7 chats and texts, so you can message people 24 hours a day, which is amazing. Like, that's incredible. This is mainly for the US, but there is a website you can go on to. I will leave it on the screen. I think it's like Trevor Space or something like that, and you can chat online to people. So the one you can get onto in the UK is trevorspace.org. It's an affirming community for LGBT young people ages 13 to 24. You can talk to different people who are in similar situations as you, other LGBTQ+ people, anyone. I think it's a really great place. Find friends who share interests, either by joining an existing group or starting your own. Chat about what matters to you. You can feel safe on there and not worry about what people think, because they're going through a similar situation to you and they understand, you know, your sexuality or your gender or things like that. There will be people on there that understand and you can talk to and make friends, and I think it's a really good thing. There will be a lot more information linked down below where you can find out all about the Trevor Project, and I really think it's an important thing to support and look at. If you are feeling like you need to talk to someone as well, you can go do that. And there'll also be a link to donate as well. So obviously this video isn't gonna be like which one of these is better. It's going to see how similar they are, because I know people will be questioning, as James Charles's palette obviously is very colourful and that's why people love it. But then this one is basically just bright colours. I don't think it has a neutral shade in here. I mean, there are a couple of goldy shades but no browns or anything, so it is a bit different and some of the shades are a bit different. I have done some swatches. Okay, so far I have done 5 different shades. First shades of the swatches are from the new palette, the 25L, and then the second shade along is the James Charles palette. Can we just talk about the fact that, one, this has a mirror. Morphe palettes never have mirrors, so happy about that. And then 2, the names are printed on the palette. Game changing. I absolutely love that so much, because there's no like little sheet that I'm gonna lose, and yeah, I really hope they keep sticking to this. Sellotape was mine to my James Charles palette, but it's just so annoying. The first shade I used was Milk, Flashback in the James Charles palette. They're both whites, just pure whites, both the same. The second shade is an orange. This is the shade Pride from this palette, which is more of a corally light orange. The shade Rusted, the James Charles palette, is a little bit darker and a little bit more red. Then we have the yellows. These are quite similar, but the one from the Living Colour palette is a little bit warmer. It's the shade Sunlight, whereas the James Charles palette, which is the one called B, is a little bit more greeny toned. Then we have the reds. So the red in this palette is called Life, and then we have You're Kidding from the James Charles palette. You're Kidding is definitely more of a brighter red. Not brighter, lighter. This is more of a deeper red. The shade Sexuality, which is the pink in this palette, the middle shade. And we have the shade Skip from the James Charles palette. Again, very similar, but I feel like the one in the new palette is just a little bit deeper. So I've swatched quite a few more shades, and I think these are the only ones I'm going to swatch now because the rest of them aren't that similar, but I will just go through the names of these. This is a dark purple. This is Truth from the new palette and Escape from the James Charles palette. The one from the new palette is definitely darker and a little bit more bluey toned. Then we have a green, which is Nature from the new palette and Social Blade from the James Charles palette. Nature seems to be a little bit brighter. And then the black, same shade basically. So this is NYC from the new palette and Spooky from the James Charles palette. This shimmery blue, these are quite different, but there are a couple shimmery blues. There are quite a few shimmery blues in the new palette. There are no matte blues. That's the only shade I think that they don't have in here is a matte blue of any kind. They only have shimmers. This is the Make Magic shade from the new palette and Hello from the James Charles palette. The Hello one is definitely a lighter, more bluey shade, and the Make Magic shade is definitely a more aqua shade. Two shimmery blues. So this is Rise Up from the new palette and Acapella from the James Charles palette. The one in the new palette is a little bit light. Then I have swatched three shimmer shades from the James Charles palette and one from the new palette. So I've swatched Stonewall from the new palette, Stonewall, Ring Light, So Good, and Face. The most similar shade I think is Face, but there's no texture like this. It's more glittery and creamy. So the palette, which is 25 shades, retails for £20 in the UK, which is amazing. And then they also have this brush set, which comes with 7 really beautiful brushes in this beautiful case, and this is £26 I believe. The value of this brush set is £37, so that's really good. Also, they're all synthetic bristles, which is amazing. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so I'm going to use a white base. I already have a bit of concealer where I've carved up my brows, so it's not going to go on completely white, but it's light. So I'm going to do the new palette on this eye and the James Charles palette on this eye, just because I take my pictures on this eye and I would like to post an Instagram picture using the palette, so yeah. And I didn't mention, but I have put tape on my eyes just to have a clean line. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I've not done it for a very long time. So I'm going to go in with the shade Truth from the new palette, which is this dark purple M222 brush, and I'm going to pack that on my outer corner. Just so that you know my brushes will be clean, I'm going to use a instant makeup brush cleaner to go in between shades. Now I'm going to go in with Escape from the James Charles palette, which is definitely lighter and more purpley. So I've just roughly put down those shades. M431 brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade Life, which is the red, and I'm going to pack that a little bit on and a little bit above that purple shade. These are so pigmented so far. You're Kidding from the James Charles palette. Going back in with that brush from before and taking a little bit of the purple and just blending those two shades together. I'm taking again the M431. I'm going with the oranges, so Pride from the new palette. And again, gonna pack that a little bit on and a little bit above that red shade. This is probably too big of a brush to use. I'm gonna use Rusted from the James Charles palette. Mixing a little bit of 518 in as well with the James Charles one, just to make it a little bit lighter. I'm going with the same brush and I'm going to go in with the pink, which is Sexuality in the new palette. And I'm gonna pack that right next to those shades. And going in with Skip from the James Charles palette. Going back and forth those shades just to help blend them out. So back in with the purples. Then back in with the reds. To be honest, that orange got completely lost. It was pretty pointless putting it there right now. I might use it in a minute. I'm going to use the M507 and use the yellows, and I'm going to blend out those edges. And I'm also going to put a little bit of the orange in between those just to make sure there's a blend. So those were the shades Sunlight and Pride, and now I'm going in with B from the James Charles palette. Going back and forth with all the shades again just to re-intensify them and blend them out a bit more. You could use the M167 to cut the crease, but I want to use that for something else. So I'm just going to quickly do that off camera because I don't have much space on my camera, and then I'll come back and do the rest of the shadow. Okay, so I've cut the crease as even as I think I can get it, and I'm now going to go in with the deep blue shimmers. So the shade Rise Up from the new palette. I'm just saying the new palette, you know which one I mean. And I'm just packing this and blending into the purple where the cut crease is. It's really nice and pigmented, this shade. And then going in with Acapella from the James Charles palette. Now I'm going to go in with the lighter blue shimmers, so Make Magic from the new palette. Hello from the James Charles palette. And then on the inner part, I'm going to use the shade Stonewall. That is such a beautiful shade. It's like foiled. Then I'm going to go in with Face on this side. Not too bad, honestly. Like, this is still really pretty. This shade's just more glittery and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to do my base off camera and come back and do the lower lash line. So now I'm going to move on to the lower lash line, and I'm going to use the tiny brush, which is the M326, and I'm going to take the black quite lightly. I'm just running that really close to my lash line. And then I'm going to take the shade Nature, which is the green shade, and I'm going to put that underneath. Now I'm going in with the black from the James Charles palette. And then in with the shade Social Blade, which is the green in this palette, the light green in this palette. I think I put too much black on this side, so I'll put a bit more on this side in a second. I really want to use this Libertation colour, look at that. But there isn't a shade like it in the James palette. Is it cheating if I put it on both? Yes. Do I want to? Yes. Because I will be putting a highlighter there anyway, so I'm going to just use that shade. Oh yeah. Okay, so my highlighter is the Morphe Lit highlighter. I used the Eldora M111 lashes, and I also have on the Morphe lip liner in the shade Love Bite and the lipstick in the shade Flirt. So about the eyeshadow, it's a given that the palettes are similar. They both have bright shades in them, and a couple of the shades are very, very close to each other, but there are slight differences. Formulas are a little bit different. Like in the Pride palette, there are a few different shimmers. I'd say kind of like the Super Shock Shadows by Colourpop, kind of like a cream. Obviously also in the James Charles palette, you get a lot more shades, more neutral shades as well. Say you wanted an alternative to the James palette, you're not that fussed about James, and you wanted a colourful palette from Morphe. This is a good one because also the net proceeds go to the Trevor Project. I honestly think this is one to buy, even if you have colourful palettes. Oh, my eyelash glue is stuck. I honestly think this is one to buy, even if you have colourful palette. Also, I'm going to use this a lot. Also, this is obviously £20, whereas the James Charles palette is £39. Obviously, if you wanted more neutrals and a few different shades, you get the James Charles palette. But if you just want colour, I think you should get this palette, and I really just suggest people getting this palette because you're getting makeup, but you're also donated to the Trevor Project, and I think that's just a great thing. Yeah, in stores, you can add a donation to your order. I definitely know that's in the UK, but I'm not sure about the US. It should be, but you can add a donation of £1, £3 or £5. Even if you're not buying this palette, you can do that. Also, the brush set, the brushes are everywhere now, but They are really, really good. I used every single one. I love the brushes. I'm definitely going to use them again. I might buy another one of these because I really like the brushes, and I also want to donate to the Trevor Project, so I might do that. Or I'll just do a donation to the Trevor Project. Thank you so much to Morphe for the event yesterday and for doing this, because it's just such an important cause and it will help a lot of people out. It's already launched, by the way, if you were wondering, so you can go get your hands on it already. I just think it's amazing what they're doing, because a lot of brands will just slap a rainbow on a palette, have a few bright shades in a palette, and just jump on the bandwagon and trend of Pride. Pride is not a trend, it's to celebrate being yourself and, you know, equality. Remember the people who fought for the LGBTQ+ community, to celebrate the LGBTQ+ community, to celebrate being who you are and being who you want to be, and for LGBTQ+ people to feel safe in a space and to enjoy their time and just celebrate. You know, it's not a trend, it's not something to make money out of, it's not. It makes me sad that brands do that. It's kind of becoming less and less. Morphe could have just done this and not done anything, or they could have donated 20% of the net proceeds, 50% of the net proceeds. It's 100% of the net proceeds. A lot of the time brands will do a small percentage, like 10%. That's good, but 100% is just incredible. Like, they didn't need to do that. It just shows that Morphe have really good morals and actually have a heart and genuinely care about their consumers and their followers and their buyers, because they have a lot of LGBTQ+ people who use their palettes, use their makeup, love it. You know, I'm like hugging this palette. I love it so much, and the brush set. I really suggest buying this if you have some money, just one or the other. If you don't need a colourful palette, buy some more brush. If you don't need any more brushes, buy the colourful palette. You know, I feel like it's just needed by most people. Everyone needs this. If you can't give money to anything, just support your friends, support anyone you know who's LGBTQ+. They need it. Let them know that you're there. Be non-judgmental and just, you know, be there for them. That's all I can ask for. I probably don't understand how much that will mean to them. Just have one person there to listen to them and not be judgmental. It could be the be all or end all, and it could really help them out. So please just be kind to everyone. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you are new. It would really, really mean a lot. My Instagram is Alice King Makeup. If you want to go follow me over there, I do lots of different makeup looks, obviously. I am going to be doing lots of different Pride ones this month, and yeah, I'm probably going to be posting an up close picture of this look, so if you want to see that, then you can go over there. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye!